Okay, so today we're going to be covering the AI agent, and we'll see you now. What agents read in your catalog and how to audit your store for it. So I'm Sean, I'm an AI specialist here with the CommerceShop, and I'm joined by Satish, our CEO. You can see a little more about us on the next slide.
Do you see the next slide?
Yep, we're good to go.
Good to go.
And then I'll show you what we're covering in today's webinar. So what we're going to look at is why in-chat checkout collapsed and what replaced it. So in March 2026, there was a reset. So the conversion math behind it and where the money lands now. We're going to look at what agents read and the rails they read it on. So we're going to look at the 4 data groups, 8 external rails, 4 protocols, and the 7 signals AI scores you on. And we're going to give you a 90-day plan to becoming the brand AI recommends. So with that, you'll get the measurement gap behind this channel from your dashboard and the exact order to fix things in. So like I said, we just want to educate you on this topic and then give you some takeaways that you can go and then implement within your sites after this 1 hour session with us.
Mhm.
Okay, so first let's think about how commerce has changed again. So I don't know the age range of any of you here in the chat, but I can say I remember when the internet first started developing and becoming common back in 1995. People were doing their purchases directly through websites. When the web was young, you'd go to like your, let's say, Amazon.com, order directly from them. They'd have it dropped off or delivered. Then you'll notice in 2008, the first major shift occurred that mobile commerce. So that was the launch of the app stores. So people started using apps, downloading apps. You think of like Google Play, Apple. Forgive me, I'm not an Apple person. I forget their store. This is just the Apple store for their markets. And then in 2015, you had the rise of the market commerce, like your Amazons, your Etsy's, larger groups, sites like that, where people would go and upload their products to. Then COVID happened and we saw a shift. So in 2020, you saw the rise of social commerce, people buying through social sites, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And now the new revolution is upon us, and that's agentic commerce. So we're going to break that down for you in this webinar, what it means, how to get captured for it, and like I say, how to improve your sites so you're not missing out. So the customer journey, it's no longer driven by the search. It's increasingly driven by AI recommendations because, like I said, AI, it's changing and it's evolving. It feels like almost on a daily basis now. So we're going to highlight what has changed, how it's changed, and how you can update your e-commerce stores to capitalize on that so you're not left behind. Okay. So in the past, you notice people would do a Google search, then they'd end up on a website, they'd search through the site, they'd look at the product pages, add the product to the cart, and then check out. It was a very manual process. All the emphasis was on the user doing all of the actions. So the user was, how to say, very tuned in and very engaged in the process. If there was something wrong, if there was like a website that they didn't like, the website was broken, they would bounce. If your search feature wasn't good, if it wasn't capturing what they needed, they would bounce. If there were issues with the cart, there were no trust signals, they might abandon their cart, not complete the transaction. So there were many different breaking points in that process. AI now, it's moving those people further down the funnel. So what they're doing is the customer is going to go, they're going to pull up their AI assistant, they'll do their voice search if they need to. Usually the AI is the one then it's doing the research if they need to and presenting them with the information that they need. If they're comparing products, the AI will give them the comparison that they're looking for, even making recommendations. And only then, once they have that information, then they'll jump on the retail website and make a purchase. So what we're seeing with the rise of these AI agents is web traffic could be decreasing. However, the conversion rate should be increasing because you should be getting more motivated buyers onto your page, but they're not usually hitting your homepage now. They might be going directly to your product page. So there is a shift in traffic flow and conversion rate that you must be aware of with the new AI agent and how it's affecting your sites. And then from there, I'm going to pass it over to Satish. So he's going to talk about how the AI agent has changed recently and especially within the cart function of it. Okay.
All right, Sean. Thanks for it. Any questions so far? Okay, let me jump on to the next slide. Before we get into the agent e-commerce, I also want to give an idea of the in-chat checkout collapse. Uh, Most probably, everybody would know that ChatGPT launched an instant checkout feature in September 2025, where a user can research about a product and it will recommend by ChatGPT, and they can complete the checkout from ChatGPT itself. But after 5 months, it is not working out. Seems like the users are not doing the in-chat checkout. Even Walmart, who tried it, they see that the users who are researching about the products in chat checkout is converting one third of what they convert on the website. So it seems to be very clear to the user's preference. They want to do the research on AI platforms like this, any comparison, explanation, summarization, all these they want to do it. And they wanted to finally, if they decide on the product, they wanted to jump onto the retailer's website and complete the checkout. So checkout seems to be still in hands of retailers, not in the AI chat or AI engines. So that's the difference. So AI is becoming like an advisor, not the checkout card or checkout tool. So we'll say again, everybody knows about the agent e-commerce, but I just want to give an idea. How agent e-commerce performs actions for customers is basically it understands the user's intent since it knows about the users through memory. It knows the user intent, it discovers products, compare the alternatives based on the user's persona and recommend the right products, build a list of products that would be very useful for very right fit for the user. And you can also set price monitoring or a bundle products, all these things you can set it up. But in any way, agent e-commerce is more like an executioner who gives advice to the customers, but they are not going to make a decision on your behalf. So the other important thing is, if you look at, as Sean pointed out earlier, everybody would might get lesser traffic from the channels like Google and other platforms, but you might see an high intent traffic coming to your site from AI platforms, and the conversion rate would be higher. So if you see AI referred an example is AI referred traffic to a US retail site is close to 138%. The conversion rate is at 54% higher than the non AI traffic, and people spend more time. Obviously, if they are having high intent, they're going to spend more time on the site. So yeah. The other important factors is how AI and the human sees it. Obviously, humans see as a product, they see the images and everything. For AI, it is all data. They just see the data and they just compare it with the other data. That's how they make a decision. So always there is a difference when you work with the humans perspective, design and experience is important. But when you're working for AI, the feed, the data plays important role than the UI experience. So, so this is what AI agents are going to read. So they're basically going to need information about the product data, like the structured attributes, product specs, categories, pricing, inventory data, all these things they will need it from your site. Also, they need the buying aids, comparisons, documentations, uh, and also they need reviews about the product from similar customers, ratings, return policy, warranties, and also merchant signal like product availability, shipping time, and the support schemes. All these things they read from your site, and the agents read these things in multiple format. They have lot many protocols and rails, which we covered the last section. but they generally get from schema dot a markup file or merchant center feeds, search indexes, product APIs, knowledge graphs, review platforms, public website sites, commerce APIs. So they get informations from all these methods. So basically, it needs all this information to recommend your product for customers. So these are the seven signals they generally operate. So they try to get product intelligence from structured product information. They also try to get reviews, badges, policies, and warranties from your site, and also from third-party sites to learn about your product's review and trust and authority for understanding whether the product's buying guide, FAQs, and expertise. So they need authority and merchant quality. Obviously, your return policy, shipping time, support, all these things. They just get it from your website, and also on the product experience. So basically, when user comes to your site, how easy that product recommendations and personalization they look into it, and also brand reputation. So AI also looks into your brand mentions across the internet. They look into all the third-party review sites, whether your brands are getting cited, all these things they do. And most importantly, AI readiness, which means the information that you have on your site, is it extractable and crawlable by these tools? So we also have a tool to test these things. So AI readiness is highly important for all these to work properly. So for AI to let's start with the product intelligence. For AI to completely read your data, they need the GTIN, the standard attributes like product, like for example, depending on the product, if it is a pizza ovens, the size, weight, all those basic attributes, standard attributes that are required for the product has to be there, and valid product schema, products rich snippets needs to be shared to these tools. So if that is, those are the products, like how you share it to Google's merchant feed and Google's search crawlers. That's the same thing, similar to that. You need to share it to these tools. If you don't have that, yeah, it may not be recommending your product. And similarly, sites that carry more weight, like the reviews. Generally, if you have a lot of reviews, doesn't make sense. Like if it is a 205-star reviews, but with not much detailed experience about your product, more information about your product review, it will give more importance to sites that give more detailed customer reviews. So, and also most importantly, it gives more importance to fresh contents. So freshness is important. So recent reviews again makes more sense for the AI agents. Any questions so far? So again, I'll show you one live example of AI audit that we did, so that you can understand these things. And also, as I said, brand mentions. These AI tools will refer to third-party sites about your brand mentions. Obviously, you should track your brand's sentiment, how it is, and also answer some of the basic questions. So it tracks all these things for to understand about your product. Merchant quality. So it takes gives not only depending on the price, it will recommend, depending on the shipping time and return policy. Also, it makes some decisions. So generally, these tools work based on the user's persona, not in general, like always give the lowest price to the user. It doesn't work like that. If it is an Gen Z population and who don't wait for anything, always brand conscious, it recommends those kind of product rather than always the cheap quality or cheap making. So try to provide all those informations to the users. So you might have an ICP in your mind. Think those kind of ICPs, will they use the if they use these tools, will your product be recommended? So try to provide as much as information possible to these AI agents. And obviously referrals. If so many sites refer about your product, and they cite your products, generally it provides a standard for your product, so it gives an importance. And as I said, brand reputation, not only about your brand reputation, even the brand. It will try to collect information across all the sites like Meta, review sites, all these things. So product reputation, brand reputation, all these things matters. It collects all this information. And as I said, AI readiness is important. You might have all the required information on your site. If it is not crawlable, if it is being protected under a PDF file, which the AI agents are not crawlable or blocked by the Cloudflare or some tools, you will be again seen as a no confidence. No, it will not be recommending you. So try to assign a team like your marketing team to look into the crawlability of your site, whether it is available or not, everything. Let me share a question. There is a question that they want to review the slide 12. Is this site? Is this page? I think I covered one by one all these things. The slide 12. What are the so any questions on this? Any other questions? Sorry. All right. So the slide 12 is mostly on the AI for complete what it needs as a to recommend your product. Basically, it needs your Google ID, MPN number, all these things, and also what how do you share your product schema to Google? Similar to that, you need to share those things: product name, category, size, and the basic attributes, color, and those attributes you need to share, and you need to share it in the schema markup language. If you can share those things, or if it is going to be ACP, also similarly operates in those schema markups. So if you can share those things, these AI agents can get more information about the product and can recommend it. If you don't have that kind of product schema or structured rich snippets, again, those products, these information not be available, and that will not recommend your product when, for example, when somebody is searching for scuba gear packages, it will not be recommending those products if these informations are not available or shared to the AI agents. Definitely, this is more important. The question is, are these information more important to the AI agents? Yes, these are important. But there are two ways you need to think. When user types a real world scenario, uh, these products might be coming into the recommendation list, but to get listed out or to be shown in the cited answers, these alone will not be enough. You might be picked for the responses, crawled for the your product information would be taken for the responses, but to be shown as a cited response. Uh, this information is along with the products mentions, products or brand citations. All these factors play a role. Even the user's persona play a role there. As I said, for the same user, for a same need, um, a youngster might be someone on the age of 20s might be given a different product set. For someone who is in 40s or 60s, they might be getting a different product from the same site. So depending on the user persona, depending on the real world problems, things will change. But you have to share all this information with an idea. If somebody, your ICP, you need to share those things. We don't list GTN on our product pages, do most. I don't even know if that is the common practice. I believe you should be sharing those things to merchant feeds. Uh, right? If you are sharing it through merchant feeds, earlier I said these AI agents can take the information from merchant center feeds. So if you are sharing it through UCP, Universal Commerce Protocols, that should be enough. It will take those product feeds. So these are the other feeds. It can just by not scrolling your site, it can also take the product information through all these feeds. Any other questions? So basically, try to have the product schema markup and share your product feeds. But one important thing is I was trying to cover the next slide is the Rails. Try to get approval for all these protocols like for Google UCP protocol, Universal Commerce protocols. If you have a merchant feed, generally that should you'd be able to easily get the approval and you can share all these um, product feeds through merchant center feeds at UCP. Similarly, for OpenAI, it's called Agentic Commerce Protocol. You can share those product feeds. You don't need to, people still prefer to come to your site, but you can share more informations about your product through ACP protocol. For Cloud and Perplexity, you use MCP. They use MCP servers to share your product feeds. Yeah. So each site, each LLMs behave differently, and you can share information according to the protocols defined by it. But one important thing is you can apply for it and share the data feed. It will at least bring more organic traffic to your site. Any questions? All right, let me show you on the real. Again, we have a real world testing of how a real site that we use to test. I'll show it in the next few slides. As the other important thing, as many would know, there is no way of measuring AI traffic. Only the referral traffic you can get. In many cases, people might see about your products. They then go to Google search and come to your products directly, or come to your product page directly. So there is a missing traffic, many AI-driven visits. Still, GA4 is trying to analyze all these things like how to attribute this AI visitors, how to attribute things for AI. But still, people are seeing there is some kind of an increase in direct traffic and traffic from AI UTM sources with AI tools like ChatGPT and things. There are traffic coming to the site and they are converting better. So that's still a blind spot AI traffic is and the AI influence on conversions. But I hope in future it will be resolved. And so this is again AI readability. Again, as I said, AI readability is not just another score that you could think. You you might need to share a lot many information about your products, product attributions, your product attributes, and also about your brand and everything. Still, these AI tools might pick your products for the problem that you're solving, but to get cited, there are it has so many other factors like as I said, user persona is a big filter for showing the product, and also about the user's preference. So many things would be there, but as I said, it's not just a readability score, I would say. Let me show you one quick product use case. Um, Let me show my screen. Another. So this is one of the. This is one of the tools that we use to test about our clients, and I was trying to test a site called diversupply.com to see how their sites crawlability and AI readiness and everything. As I said, AEO score is what we are providing, but it's again not a very big factor. The important factor is whether your site is having schema markups properly. So, for example, here you could see that organization schema is missing, website schema is missing, product schema is missing, FAQ readiness is missing out for the page, and importantly, whether the uh, s- product page is answering in a Q&A format or not. If not, it will show those things. Again, on crawlability, the site has a better crawlability, technical uh, things like robots.txt, meta descriptions, all these things. But for better recommendations, there has to be content depth on what the problem the product is solving. This is the URL. So this is for divers. So there is no information about the product. Very basic information is provided. And meta quality, these are technical SEO problems generally you need to fix. As I said, add question and answers, product titles, all these things. Bot crawlability is good. We check across all the major AI systems. You could see Perplexity is good. Anthropic, you're not getting cited. So for citations, we use this GEO things. EAT we call how your site is experience, authority, and trust signals are there. It is better. AI discoverability, it is good. Content freshness, as I said, AI gives more importance to sites that are having fresh content. So those things are important. Still, AI sentiment, how your site is being, how your product is being recommended by the tools outside or other third-party sites. Those things are important. LLM.text about your brand, business should be is important file is missing out. Um, so EAT score is better. There is a room for improvement. Definitely, authoritativeness and the AI experience and the experience needs to be improved. These are the brand mentions I was talking about. Like for example, when where to buy 6 dive boots online in ChatGPT, the site is getting. You could see diver supply is coming up, but for sorry in Gemini it is coming up. For ChatGPT it is not coming up. scuba.com, Stone Sports, but in Gemini it is coming up, Claude it is coming up. So best scuba regulator packages, source of spearfish. So we need to look into all these aspects, like whether these kind of products are getting mentioned or not. And this again, as I was telling about the brand, whether your site, your brand is getting recognized across different third-party sites. We can measure that, how effective it is, what needs to be improved. I think category organization schema, if you can fix that, your brand entity brand signal would be better. So organization schema is what I would say we need to fix. Similarly, your market competition, like how you are compared to your competitors, how recommended by your customers, we also calculate that. Um, Definitely, you need to improve your brands review, all these things. Right now, it is not pretty great compared to these big brands. And also, whether people recommending or writing about you, whether it is they are writing it positively or negatively, we can see that 46% positive, 53% negative. Oh, sorry. Are you guys not seeing my screen? Sean, do you see my screen about the Commerce Shop trader? Sean, do you screen?
Uh, Hi, Satish. We are still seeing the PPT only.
Oh, PPT only.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Do you see my screen now? Apologize, guys. I was
Yes.
okay. So I'll quickly explain that. Sorry, guys. This is the brand schema I was talking about. We test each product URL and see how your site's FAQ, schema markup, what kind of issues we see, whether FAQ, product answer formatting, crawlability, all these things we show for, and if your site is not crawlable, we fix it. Whether if it is not showing you any FAQ is not there, we fix that. Schema markup, again, as a basic thing, we fix that. And similarly, we look into your AE also, sorry, GE also, where we talk about your authority, experience, and expertise and trust. Mostly, experience is missing out. So your EAT score, how your content is discoverable, how sentiment, what is your general brand sentiment across the site, how fresh your content is. All these things we calculate, and we try to improve those things. And this is again how your site is getting cited across various tools, whether recommendations are coming or not. All these things, it will look into it. So the product that I was showing you was for the swimming boots. So this is the boot. It doesn't have much information. So I was trying to give an idea like these are the areas you need to improve, and also we collect information about your brand and the market's response, how sentiment, like what is your brand sentiment across the internet. All these things we cover. So it is an complete information that we share. Apologize for my not showing it properly earlier, but yeah, these things we can cover. Um, sorry. So we cover all these information throughout the store audit. Again, we would be happy to run a similar kind of audit for your site. So you can also, whoever wants the audit, they can try to get this from this URL. I'm sharing you the URL for you guys. You can sign up for it and we can run you a full product page audit across all your important catalogs. We'll do that and recommend you what kind of changes you need to do. And this is the 90-day AI readiness plans, how we do it. So first, we need to identify what is your AI traffic now and take your top 20 product pages and test your sites, AI readability and everything. And in the next 30 days, try to add those attributes, GTN filters, all these things, try to share to these AI agents or try to get the approval of UCP, ACP and share these feeds to these tools. And then once you share that, see how these tools are getting those informations. If not, try to fix the errors. If there is errors, try to share informations like price, stock availability and everything to these tools. So yeah, so you can clearly see, start measuring what kind of visibility you're getting, are you getting recommended or not, and you should start seeing some kind of an improvement on your AI traffic. So as I said, three things we wanted to reiterate. One is the AI discovery is here to stay. People have moved from Google search to these AI tools to discover the right products. And agents are the one that is going to do the comparison, recommendations, all these things. So agents are going to read your site and all the information. Uh, Try to share as much as information as possible to these tools. That is most important. AI is all about data. Visual is important, but for human, but for AI, you need to share as much as data, and that's how it is. So anybody who wants to get an AI visibility audit or how your AI agents can see your products, you can take a book a meeting with us. As I said, if you book, uh, fill out the form that I shared in the URL, would be happy to give a quick free demo about your how AI visibility is for your site, and we can take it from there. Any questions? Right. And Jim, sorry, I didn't see that slide was stuck for slide 24. Sorry for that. All right, I'd be happy to connect with you guys anytime or to review your AI visibility. We'll also send you this presentation and recording to you guys through email. Uh, Thanks for attending this webinar. Sean, anything you want to add?
No, I think you covered everything. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.